Hey y'all, hey, so I'm back with another episode. Real Housewives of Rhode Island, season 1, episode 5. When I'm telling you, the drama just continues to build and be so much better than the weeks before. Like, give these girls, what do they say? Come get your baddie chain. I don't even watch baddies, but please, the girls are really eating this season. And I'm thoroughly entertained. That's all I got. I'm thoroughly entertained. So let's get to it, right? Because this was some shit, okay? So I love how every episode, because even last episode, why do we start off every episode with everybody talking about how delusional that Rulla is? It's insane. Joe Ellen, because she was out of town, for last episode or whatever, she comes back in town, so she goes to, I believe it was like Liz's or Alicia's house. I think it was Liz's house. So Alicia, Liz, and Joe, they're sitting there, they're giving Joe Ellen like the lowdown on what happened at the little beach situation, right? And then Joellen was like, was Rulla there? Was Rulla there? And she was like, no, she wasn't there. Or no, she was there actually. She was there. And they just pretty much talk about how at the end of the day, Rulla is delusional. She's DELULU. She's DELULU. She just don't want to accept what the hell is actually going on. So then we have Ashley. She goes over to Kelsey's house. When she came to her house, she said, girl, they could fit 2 bachelor mansions inside this house. I really be feeling like, Kelsey, girl, if you don't just continuously get that man's money and live in that beautiful ass house, I'm gonna tell you. So she came over so that Ashley could do Kelsey's hair. I guess she said that she just started recently doing hair and makeup, so she comes to do her hair. And Kelsey explains to us that she went from, I think she said she was working as a server whenever she met her now boyfriend or whatever. And she said when she met him and she was working at a service, she was still living at home. And she literally went from living at home to moving in with him, and it's been like that ever since. And so she was like, so if I was to kind of, go out on my own, I would have to really like try to figure everything out. And the producer was like, are you terrified of that? Of like trying to do stuff on your own? She was like, yes. I just want to say, this is like a tidbit advice to like young women, if you're watching, please don't ever go from living with your parents directly into living with a man. Have a buffer in between. I don't care. Like me, I've been dealing with my man since I was in high school, right? But although that is the case, I lived on campus for 2 years, and then I moved off of campus my junior year of college, but I moved off of campus and I lived with a roommate. And then my senior year of college is when me and him moved in with each other. Like, I had a smooth 3 years of not living with this man. Although we was together, I had a smooth 3 years of not living with him, and kind of like, setting myself up on my own and making sure that I could do it on my own before me and him did actually move in together. And so I just want to put that as a tab. Please attempt to live on your own. Attempt to live by yourself for a little bit before you move in with a man. You want to make sure that you can do it on your own. When I mean do it on your own, I just don't mean financially. I mean mentally. I mean spiritually, because it's a lot living on your own, and especially when you are like first coming of age, it's a lot, like, and it's a really big step. So I think that says I think it makes even more sense as to why she don't want to leave, because she's never had to do it on her own. Like she said, she was a server, but you was living at home, meaning your parents was probably still taking care of the majority of whatever. I feel like Kelsey and Alicia ain't that different as far as their situations, because Alicia is going to continue to tell us in this episode that she has to ask her husband for bread. She don't work. She don't really know how to do much and nothing as far as financial planning. And I think that is something that's very detrimental to women. You need to have your own money. You need to know how to make your own money. You need to know what's coming in and what's going out. These things are important, okay? Because when a man wants to leave your ass high and dry, like Alicia said that her daddy did to her mom, that's exactly what they'll do. That's exactly what they'll do. I'll tell you that right now, okay? So after Kelsey was done with Ashley's hair, sorry, I'm trying to get everybody's name together still. She was like, hey, do you mind, like tagging me and stuff? Because I think Ashley is a influencer. So she was like, yeah. So she was like, she took a video of just her hair alone, and then she brought Kelsey in the picture with her in video, and they did that. So Kelsey goes on to say that Rosie, not that long ago, a few months ago, asked for Rosie asked if Kelsey could do her hair a few months ago. So she came over, she did her hair, and she said, but my feelings was a little hurt because she didn't tag me on anything, like supporting me. She didn't tag me. She didn't, like, you know, take a picture or say, you know, anything about me doing her hair. And I see her do that with everybody else. Anytime she goes to anybody else that does her hair or her makeup, she always tags them. And it just made me feel like, oh, you don't want to do it because you hating on me or whatever. And I don't know. I just feel like, how do I feel about that? I guess it kind of depends, right? If Rosie, because this is what Kelsey may not know. Rosie might have a situation set up with these people to where it's like, okay, I'm gonna come to you to do my hair and makeup, but I don't want to pay for nothing, and my payment to you is me reposting you. Like, she may have a situation set up with these people. It may not just be her doing it out of the kindness of her heart. She may have an arrangement already set up with these people to where she, you know, like, highlights their work or whatever. And I mean, also, I think Rosie was like that. She never asked, that Kelsey never asked. I mean, you could have easily asked too. You could have just been like, hey, do you mind, like, giving me a shout out? Now, if she would have said no and gave you a shitty ass reason, then I understand that. But I think it's a little bit entitled to feel like, oh, because I did her hair and her makeup, she should just tag me. It's like, no, you don't know what her situation is with these other people. So, yeah, but Kelsey and Rosie, they just don't see for each other. And I think it's mostly because they damn near the same person. You bitches pretty much look alike. And according to both of y'all past sexcapades ain't that much off either, okay? So, let me see here. I feel like that happens later, right? I'm trying to think. So Rosie's friend, one of her friends or whatever, invited her to, like, I don't know, like a boat or a yacht or something like that. And, you know, because everybody in Rhode Island, everybody just bring the girls too. So everybody goes, everybody seems to be having a nice time. But Rosie is talking to Ashley on the side and pretty much saying, because she felt like all of the other girls was kind of like staying away from her. And she was like, I just feel like ever since, you know, I've been kind of part of this group, it feels like everybody got an issue with me. Everybody wants to have issue with me, you know. Joellen pretty much cursed me out the first, you know, that little beach thing that they had. Then I got into it with Alicia because of what I said, and now I'm not really seeing eye to eye, and I ain't never really been seeing eye to eye to Kelsey. And she's like, I'm just not understanding what I'm doing. My thing with Rosie, like, now that we're 5 episodes in, and I think Alicia said it last episode, it does give, like, try too hard. And when I mean try too hard, you're giving, like, a mini Giselle, not in, and I mean from the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I don't mean in the way that she's acting. I mean in the sense of, like, not her being a mean girl. I more so mean in the sense of, like, it comes off like you're trying to produce the show. That's how it comes off to me as the viewer. It feels like you're trying to create certain scenarios and conversations and moments versus just letting things happen. Like, I feel like with the whole Joellen, when y'all was all at that beach or whatever, I feel like you was trying to make a moment when Joellen brought up Kelsey. The same way it felt like you was trying to make a moment when y'all was all sitting there and you said what Alicia said to you about Liz. It just comes off like you just doing, like, I think Alicia said it's given try too hard. Yeah, it's given very much so I'm trying to create this drama, or this is a reality show, so I'm trying to do this and to do that to make, it's like, do you see y'all bitches? Y'all don't need no help. Like, especially in season 1. Season 1 is one of the few times that when Housewives start, y'all don't need no help with trying to manufacture drama. The drama don't need to be manufactured. Trust me, y'all got enough material to work with without you trying to manufacture something. So in my opinion, it just comes off like Rosie is trying to create moments and spots for the show versus just kind of letting everything play out the way that it is. So then all of the girls come over or whatever. And, you know, Rosie explains, you know, I just feel like you guys don't like me. So then Kelsey felt the need to be like, well, you didn't tag me. This was so, like, petty and juvenile, but I don't care. It's hilarious. Kelsey was like, well, you didn't tag me after I did your hair and after I did your makeup. And I just think that that's so wrong. And Rosie was like, what are you talking about? Like, if you would have asked me to do it, then I would have. She's like, but I shouldn't have to ask you. If you're trying to be supportive of everybody, then you should be supportive. And it feels like you just don't like me. I really think that Kelsey thinks that Rosie is jealous of her. I can't say that that's true, but I think that's what Kelsey really thinks about Rosie. And because, they're both the younger ones, and they both dark-haired, and they both got sexapade issues, from the past, I just feel like they ain't gonna ever really get along. It is what it is. It was what it was. Don't really care. Let's move on to the shit that matter, child. We gotta move on to the shit that matter. Bitch. Joellen and Rulla go to meet up. The rest of this episode really just took me. It took me so long to get through this episode because I kept pausing every 5 seconds to take notes and to make sure I was writing shit down of how it was happening. Okay, I'm right. Okay. So Joellen and Rulla go to meet at this restaurant, right? They sit at the bar. And Joellen was like, I'm the one who reached out, because I don't want no animosity between us. And I think it's better if we just meet with each other versus the husbands being around. Now, Joellen says the reason she knows Brian's mistress is because their kids go to the same daycare as each other. And she showed, because I think Rulla was like, look, like my husband, we know what he used to do in the past, but he's not doing that anymore. And Joellen was like, he is though. I'm telling you that he is still messing with her. He is still dealing with her. And she was like, Rulla was like, well, no, that's not true. She said, but my thing is, like, if somebody's trying to pull the wool over my eyes or whatever, like, I'm not trying to, like, address it. Like, then show me. I don't want somebody pulling the wool over my eyes if that's the case. And Joellen was like, he is. He is. And so she pulls out her phone and she was like, look, these are the text messages that the mistress showed me that's between both of them, okay? Because I asked her, I was like, can I see your phone? She said, she gave me her phone and I scrolled through all of the messages and these are some of the messages. Now, according, because we didn't get to read the messages, but according to Joellen says that the mistress said that they are indeed in love and that they absolutely want to be together. It's just that Brian wants Rulla to leave him and not him leave her. I 1,010% believe that. When I'm telling you, I believe that. Niggas do that all the time. That's why I believe everything that happened that Joellen said. I believe this because this really goes with the theory of, like she said, that Brian wants Rulla to leave him, not him leave her. And I could fully see that being the case, right? So she shows her the text messages or whatever, and Rulla goes, these aren't real, okay? This is from an AI, a text app that she has, because Brian told me that this woman is insane, and it's like some fatal attraction type stuff, like she's really, really, really insane. And Joellen's face is the rest of us face. I'm just like, okay, girl. By the time we got to the end of this, I felt like this the first time when Liz was talking to her. This is how I feel. Let that woman be, how I said before, like, let that man cheat in peace. Let Rulla be delusional in peace. And I don't even know if it's delusional, because I believe that Rulla absolutely knows for a fact that her husband is cheating on her. I think that Rulla just wants to save face because of her image. So I don't want to necessarily call her delusional, because I don't think that the shit that Brian is saying to her that she really believes. I think that she knows this nigga is lying. I think she just wants to save face. So I don't even want to call her delusional. So what would I say? Let her just sit in whatever it is that she's gonna sit. Because what she's not gonna do is come out to y'all and say, yes, I know my nigga is cheating and I don't really care about it and I don't want to hear about it. She's not gonna say that. Because most women, that's why I respect Kelsey's situation. Because Kelsey owns some real shit. Like, yeah, I know he dealt with other bitches and it is what it is. I get to stay at the house. I don't do nothing. He pays for everything. I just don't think that Rulla is willing to stand on that hill. And at this point, like by the end of the episode, I'm like, you know what? Just let it go. Let sis sit and let her sit in what she wants to sit in. What I will say though that I'm tired of her doing is, please stop getting in our faces with all of these excuses and trying to back all of the excuses that Brian is giving. You could just simply say, I just don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. But when you're saying, but to me it's different. It's one thing to say, I just don't want to talk about it. And I think like maybe the first episode of like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Angela said this. She was like, I don't want to hear nothing about Charles. I don't care. If you say he's cheating, don't care. You say he's here, I don't care. I just don't want to hear about it. I don't care. I would rather her take that approach, because that approach at least kind of saves you a little bit versus you saying, if there is something, bring it to me. That's where Rulla keeps getting it fucked up. You can't keep saying to women, well, if you have something, then bring it to me. And then when they bring it to you, you saying, oh, well, you're being messy and this bitch is a liar and you're trying to cause drama. No, then stop telling these hoes to come with you, to come with you with the information that they know. What you should say is, at this point, I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear about it. I'm choosing to believe my husband, and I would just ask if everybody could just not bring nothing to me no more. Whatever you hear, I don't want to hear it. It is what it is. But you are actively telling these women, if you hear something, let me know. If you see something, bring it to me. So why is it that when they bring it to you, you now getting an attitude about it? That's why you gotta be careful as a woman what you tell other women about their niggas, because this is exactly how they act. So again, Rulla was like, this lady is insane, and Brian told me it's a fatal attraction situation. And she's like, here's the thing, Joellen. I have a tracker on him, okay? Now this is the part where she's delusional. I have a tracker on him, okay? And there's not been one night that he has not slept at this house, okay? He's sleeping at my house, sleeping at our house every single night. And Joellen was like, because in the morning time he goes to her house and he brings her coffee. Every single morning he brings her coffee. And Rulla was like, no, he doesn't. He's at the gym every morning. He's at the gym. Baby, when Joellen said, does Brian look like the type of man that goes to the gym? Took me clean out. I said, please, Joellen, please. Please, Joella, please. She completely killed me with that. Does he look like he go to the gym? Because he don't. What about Brian gives you that he goes to the fucking gym, girl? He's at the gym. And so that was pretty much it, because Joellen was like, girl. She literally was like, at that point, for me, Joellen, I would have just been like, okay, girl, you got it. Don't worry about it. I will never bring nothing up to you again. No matter what this woman says to me, I'll keep it to myself. I won't say nothing. Is that fair? Like, is that fair to not bring up nothing to you no more? Because obviously, this woman is going to sit in what she's sitting in, and it ain't going to change, baby. That whole scene took me out because Rulla was really deep in it. And Rulla said, I'm sorry, not Rulla. Rulla was deep in it. But Joellen also said the reason why she's so hell-bent on this is because she was like, Rulla reminds me of like my mom. Like, she just didn't want to believe like what was going on with my dad. And she said, and I'm one of those people where if somebody is telling me that what I'm saying is like a lie or I'm making stuff up, she said, I feel like I have to prove to them that I'm not making it up. So that's why it seems like Joellen is so gung-ho on this, because number one, it reminds her of her mom. And number two, she don't like the idea that somebody is saying that she's lying about something that she's not. Joellen, let it go, bitch. Let it go. So then we have the polo event that they have, right? And so it's funny because Kelsey ends up bringing whatever the other man name is, the boyfriend number 2, because she was like, my whole thing is, she's like, when I ask, whatever her boyfriend number 1 is, she's like, when I ask him to come places with me, he never wants to come with me. He never wants to go to events. So yeah, so I asked, let's just say, I think his name maybe is Paul. She's like, I always ask Paul because Paul is always willing to go. Paul wants to be outside. Paul pretty much wants to claim me. Like, Paul wants to let it be known, like that's me or whatever. And I fucks with it the long way. So yeah, I'm gonna invite Paul to come with me. I thought that was funny. So then, okay, before they get to this shit is a bitch. This shit was so messy. And the key on top of that, okay, this shit was a fucking key, ho. So before they get to the polo event, right? I forgot who, but somebody rented like a big bus or whatever for them to all go in together. Now, everybody was like, is Rulla and Brian coming? They're like, yes. So Rulla and Brian show up, right? Rulla and Brian show up. Literally, like right before they get on the bus, Brian gets a phone call and he's like, huh? Baby, don't ever take no acting classes, Brian. I'm going to tell you right now, your acting is fucking terrible. He was like, what? Is that what's going on? Okay, well, let me know exactly how she's doing and if she's okay. So he gets off the phone and he says to Rulla, they're taking my mom to the hospital. They said that, that her feet is cold and this and that and the third. And so, she has to go to the hospital, right? And so Rulla and Brian, they tell everybody, oh, hey, they're like, hey, we gotta go, because there's something going on with Brian's mom. Everybody's just like, okay. So they leave, right? And now they did say, to be fair, and this is why I feel like it's all bullshit from Brian. Because they said, like, if everything is cool, don't worry. Like, we're gonna show up at the polo event. We're just gonna drive, right? So they leave off. While they're on the bus, and this is maybe a little bit after, they get a FaceTime, or Liz gets or FaceTimes Rulla, right? And she's like, oh, how was Brian's mom and how's everything? And she was like, well, I don't know. She was like, not just yet. She's like, I don't know just yet because, Brian is over there with his mom and I'm at the house. Brian dropped me off home and then he went to go see his mom. So I'm not 1,010% sure. Baby, I said, this nigga is full of shit. He's fucking full of shit. He's fucking full of shit. So when she gets off the phone, Joellen is like, baby, they said, what's wrong? She was like, so I met with Rulla and I told her everything about the mistress. She was like, tell me why the mistress just texted me saying that he is on his way over to her house right now. Damn it, Bravo. We love a good messy ass. So they're like, no, that can't be true. That can't be true. That can't be true, right? So then they get to the polo event, right? They do the little polo event and stuff. And then Rulla and Brian pop back up. So they come back together. This is where the bullshit to me is at, right? You get a phone call saying that something is wrong with your mom, right? But you also made sure to emphasize that if everything was fine, that y'all would be coming back together in the car. So my question to Brian is, if you had all intentions, right, of coming back to the event, to the polo event with Rulla, don't you think it would make more sense for Rulla to stay with you while you go check on your mom, so that instead of you, because now you're just wasting more time. You had to drop Rulla off at the house, then leave your house to go to your mom's house, to leave your mom's house to come back to get Rulla to then go to the event, versus leaving Liz's house, going straight to your mom's house with Rulla, and then once everything was cool and you knew that, coming straight back to the event. You literally did 3 extra drop-offs. You did 2 drop-offs. Really a total of 3 little stop points that you didn't have to do. You said you knew that y'all was coming back. That if everything was fine, then you was coming back. So why not just bring Rulla with you to your mom's house, and if everything is not fine, then you drop Rulla off at home? You are full of shit. And I'm going to tell you what it gives to me is because Rhode Island, mind you, I'm taking this theory from thin air, but I'm going to tell you what I think happened. Because of the fact that Rhode Island is very, very small and everybody knows everybody, I think either 2 things happened. Either A, the mistress had heard from whoever that all of y'all was about to go out together, and she said, you got me bit. You better bring your ass right now to come and see me. If you don't come, you bring your ass right now to come and see me, I'm going to light the whole thing up. Bring your ass over here to come and see me. So he had to make up an excuse to go over there and go see his bitch. Either that or Joellen texted the mistress that Brian had showed up there, and because she was in her fifis and felt like, oh, I'm about to show you right now, Joellen, I'm about to pull rank. Watch this shit. And called that nigga and told him to come, and that's why Joellen got that text from the mistress saying he's on his way. Because my thing is, why would the mistress just be randomly texting Joellen that he's on his way? What happened was either A, Joellen, like I said, Joellen must have reached out to that mistress to say, Brian is leaving. Is he on his way to you? And she might have wrote back and be like, yeah, he's on his way to me. Or Joellen wrote the mistress and said, oh, well, she said that you're a liar. And right now, Rulla and Brian is pulling up together. So I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And then the mistress hopped on the phone and said, oh, you want to pull up with your wife? Bring that ass here right now. I'm telling you. I'm more so inclined to believe that Joellen was texting the mistress saying, like, Rulla and Brian are here together. And to prove the point that she was not lying, she called Brian's phone and said, bring that ass. And then when he was bringing that ass, he texted Joellen to say, I told you, he's on his way to my house right now because I'm the one who called him. I believe that full-heartedly. Yes, ma'am. Brian, you're fucking trifling, bro. You're fucking trifling. So then, like I said, Rulla and Brian come back, right? So Rulla is showing the girls her wedding ring. So Kelsey takes the wedding ring and she puts it on, or engagement ring, and she goes to like where the guys are standing, where Brian and Joellen's husband. She was like, look at it, like, doesn't it look so nice on me? Doesn't it look so nice? And then she was like, well, Brian, where's your wedding ring, right? And Brian was like, yeah, I don't have it. I think I might have took it off. Now, he said, I might have took it off when I was gelling the kid's hair or something like that. And I think I might have just left it in the car. So she goes back over to Rulla and she was like, oh, Brian's not even wearing his ring. So Rulla's like, where's your ring? Like, what you mean you not wearing your ring at all? So he runs to the car to go and grab it. Bro, this man is so full of shit. He said that he took it off. Now, mind you, Bravo messy ass flashed back to a few hours earlier when they was at Liz's house. And when they was at Liz's house, Brian had his ring on. Brian had his ring on. Now, all of a sudden, when you pop up a few hours later, because Joellen was doing the timeline of how it's very possible that he went to go see that woman, because there's hours in between all of this, right? You're full of shit. Because, like, it showed you had your ring on when you was at Liz's crib. But now, a few hours later, you don't have it on. And your excuse was that, I think I took it off when I was gelling the kid's hair. So, my thing is, question. When you and Rulla originally left the house, you wasn't making sure that your kids was okay then? Like, let's just say they, like, dropped the kids off to somebody's house, right? Or let's just say a nanny was there or whatever. You trying to tell me that whatever you had to do for your kids, you didn't do then? You're trying to tell me that you dropped the Rulla off at the house, went to go see your mom, came back to come pick Rulla up, but before you picked Rulla up, you wanted to make sure that your son's hair had gel in it, and you took off your ring in the car? Or I think he said he put it in his pocket or whatever, and then in the car. Bro, you are a terrible liar. None of that makes sense. You're a liar. You took it off when you went to go see your bitch. Period. You're a fucking liar, and a terrible one at that. Like, the terrible lies that Brian just kept coming up with. It was really fucking sending me, right? So, and Rulla in her confession was like, oh, well, when he has surgery and stuff, he tends to take it off. Did he have surgery in between the time y'all left Liz's house to the time y'all came back? I thought he just went to go check on his mama. What the fuck would have been the point of him taking off his ring from the time y'all was at Liz's house to the time y'all got back? What was he doing to where he had to take his ring off? Girl, please, again, if you want to be on some, oh, I don't want to hear about it, then fine. But please stop trying to pass off his bullshit to us. It's very frustrating. So then when everybody is sitting there together, right? When everybody was sitting there, right? The mistress, and Joellen was scrolling on Instagram. Literally 2 hours ago, it shows that the mistress posted a picture of her being inside of Brian's car with him. Blinkety blink, 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 blink. Which again proves the fact that this bitch, I mean the mistress. The mistress is purposefully feeding Joellen information so that Joellen could go back and tell Rulla, so that Rulla can leave Brian. That goes with the theory, or with what's being said, is that Brian wants Rulla to leave. Niggas do, I want y'all to understand, niggas will do that all the time. Niggas don't, for whatever reason, whether it's being a coward, whether it's because of money, they really don't want to break up with their significant other. So a lot of times, they really will do shit to make you break up with them. They will cheat blatantly in front of your face, or do certain things to make it so that it's pretty obvious that they don't want to be with you, but they're not gonna say that. So they want to force your hand. That woman posted that shit literally in the midst of everything going on. So Joellen is like freaking out, like, see, I knew it. I fucking knew it. And she shows, I think, Liz. And Liz was like, let's go talk to Brian. And she's like, let me go talk to Brian. Let me go talk to Rulla. So at first, Liz goes over there to talk to them. But Brian was like, I'm not doing this on camera. It's too late. I don't understand how you thought that your wife would be a housewife and none of this shit come up. I don't understand. As small as Rhode Island is, you think your wife will be a housewife and none of this shit come up? That's just foolish to me. That's foolish. So then, just like all of this, not commotion, but this person talking to this person talking to this person. So eventually, you see Joellen, Rulla, Brian, and Liz. And Joellen is like, look, this is what your mistress just posted 2 hours ago. So Rulla is like, what? And she was like, do you see this? He was like, yeah, that's old, that's old, like that's from a long time ago, and I just don't want to do this right here and right now. And Joellen is like, oh my gosh, she's like, so you're trying to tell me that this picture that she just posted 2 hours ago when you wasn't around is from before whatever? And so Rulla and Brian is like, Brian was like, I just don't like the fact that that you're bringing all of this stuff up and you're trying to stir drama. And Liz and Joellen was like, I'm not trying to, this was on Instagram. This is nothing that I pulled from the fucking sky. Your mistress posted this, not me. I'm just showing the girl what I know, right? So then Joellen pulls Rulla to the side and she whispers in her, she's like, listen, she's like, I'm not trying to hurt you. You're a wife. You're a mother. I'm literally trying to help you. This man is still out here acting up. When Joellen said to Rulla, baby, I literally laughed for 5 minutes straight. When she said, do you want me to get the hard proof? Because I don't get the hard proof. I said, bitch, Joellen is on a mission. And I was so happy when her husband came to grab her. Because after a while, it did feel like, Joellen, you got to let it go. Like, you're doing a lot. And it's time to let it go. So you just see her husband come and grab her like, bring your ass. Because enough of trying to convince this woman that her husband is cheating on her. We know it. It is what it is. I forgot. One of the husbands was like, isn't there mistress etiquette? I'm like, period. What happened to the mistress etiquette of keeping it on the low and shutting up and not wanting the wife to find out? You hoes can't wait to go on Instagram and sub a bitch to let them know that you got her man. That shit was completely taking me the fuck out. It was just completely taking me out. So Brian was over it and he was like, it's time to go. And Liz was like, I just wanted to have a conversation with y'all because this is just gonna keep coming up or whatever. And I think it was Liz and Alicia that was talking to Rulla and Brian. And Alicia was like, I don't believe it. I'm not a believer. And I'm like, Alicia, I love you down, hon, but we see your situation, so we know why you think the way that you think. No shade. But Liz was the same way Liz was at that first dinner is how she was here. She was like, oh my gosh. She said, feel however you want to feel about Joellen. Think she's messy, think she's that. But she's not pulling this shit from the sky. These are things that people are bringing her. And not just people, the woman herself is bringing this to her. So y'all trying to make it seem like Joellen is such this terrible ass person when the facts are the facts are the facts. And you want to sit up here, Rulla, and try to act like this is not going on. Brian, you want to try to make it seem like there's nothing going on. It's clear. And I think Liz's thing is like, instead of y'all trying to run away from it, y'all are making it worse by running away versus just being completely honest and saying what the fuck is going on. Y'all are making it worse for yourselves. Baby, I was taking out this whole, because it just felt like the hole for Brian just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's just like, what else is there left other than for a picture of her sitting on his, do you need, sis? And like I said, I do not believe for one point in the matter that Rulla really thinks that Brian is being faithful. I think Rulla is saving face, and she'll be damned if anybody's going to embarrass her. That's what it is. That's all it really gets down to. But I think at this point, I was so happy that Joellen's husband came and got her, because I'm like, Joellen, enough. Like, enough is enough at this point. The lady gonna do what she want to do. She not trying to hear it. Give her a season and a half, and then she'll come back and be real with us. But where she is right now, it's not gonna happen, baby girl. And you might as well just let it go. What a good fucking episode. My God, today. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what y'all think about. Bye.